Welcome to the Do You Get podcast.
Because I don't think they get.
I actually get, but do they get?
No, they don't get. Do you get that they don't get?
They
that
don't get
that
this
they don't get.
philosophy. They
No,
don't get this philosophy.
They don't
that
get it.
We
You don't get it. If you don't get it, forget about it.
Hello. Welcome to the Do You Get podcast. And this is Florence.
Yo.
This is my intros. Everybody take it or leave it. How are you? So today we have guests. So we have Chigo and Tariro. And I'm just gonna let them
even let me speak.
I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
Okay, but how about me?
Yeah, you really
You don't matter.
How you gonna forget the whole host, yo?
The whole show.
You forgot the whole host. Like,
Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
this your whole co-host. Like, damn. She said it's a Friday. We.
Okay, see me go. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm good. It's Simi. Welcome to the JGET podcast. Please, everybody block Florence on my behalf.
Yo, that's the co-host beefing.
You're gonna have the host remember you.
Yeah.
You before you.
Don't
Or
mind
you know
her.
that.
I beg.
Anyways, yeah, like she said, we have two guests today. We're going to let them introduce themselves.
Hold on. Okay. My name is Tariro Magariro, senior, representing Big Zim, Zimbabwe.
You know, whole
I,
government. I'm weak.
well, I shouldn't use the whole government.
No, it's your choice.
This is my choice. Okay.
It's your choice.
Yeah.
You already started. You might as well continue.
But yeah, representing Big Zim, I have to represent. Not a lot of us out here. So yeah,
Okay.
senior, environmental science major. Happy to be here. Happy you invited me. So yeah.
Thank you for
And
coming.
my name is Chigo, representing 234. Also.
Everybody's represented.
Also repping Washington D.C.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out everybody.
District
and-
of Columbia.
And yeah, thank you, Florence and Simi, for inviting me on this podcast. Me and Tariro, that is. And we're here to have some fruitful and great
Did you
discussion.
say fufu?
Fruitful.
Fruitful.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
like fufu
Don't
can.
No. You just hungry. Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, it's it's nice having us. And let's get to it. Let's not waste no time.
Lovely. Okay, so you guys are new here, and we're about to go into a section on the podcast where we read the dilemmas we received this week. It's called the Blinding the Blind section, because there's no guarantee that what we're going to say is correct, but we're going to try
Yeah.
and give the best advice that we can. Okay, so are you guys ready for the dilemma?
Yes.
One of my supervisors offered me a promotion. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah.
But then when we were alone, he asked if I had a boyfriend. I dodged the
Yo.
question and joked around, but he kept asking. I said that I did have a boyfriend. Then he said my ears were cute, and then he stroked them.
Whoa.
I don't feel affected by it or anything, but should I report him to the workplace harassment or something? It feels harsh since the man just touched my ear, but maybe his actions could escalate with others.
My dear reporting.
Yeah, immediately. Like, even if it's like just a ear, it's still like.
Yeah, that's some.
Nah.
Report him
nah.
because
That's some
and
weird.
you need to let them know that
Yeah.
it's weird. That is
It's
so
weird.
weird. I'm
Your
so
ear,
sorry.
like-
the ear, like,
Oh my god. Oh.
Hey, he probably took his time, bro. He was looking into her eyes or some shit. That shit.
50 Shades
Yeah.
of Grey.
Oh no, bro.
No, please report him. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
report him.
Immediately.
Please, you have to say something because that's just gonna continue.
Continue happening again.
Like you need
And
to set that boundary.
The worst part is he probably thought he was smooth.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like-
some weird shit. This is horrible.
so weird.
Yeah.
People are so weird.
Hey.
So straight. But she
People are
should
so-
turn down the promotion because she got a promotion. So I'm guessing. Because does it mean he wanted her? That's why he gave her the
The
promotion.
promotion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
could
was
be like
thinking
that.
about that, but I didn't want to be the one to say it. So
Yeah.
I thank you for saying it first, because Youngers is finna cancel me if I would have said that. But thank you for saying that. You feel me? That's what I'm thinking too. He's Cause that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right after you give someone a promotion, you get to stroke
it's
it.
Yeah,
the
that's
whole
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, the whole power dynamic.
come-
almost.
Yeah.
It's a whole.
Yeah,
he's a
you
supervisor.
can't do that. Like
Yeah.
just report. If you're scared, like I understand that you can do that anonymously.
Mm-hmm.
If your company is not supporting you on that, I'm so sorry. I don't want to say leave your job, but
I mean, but if it's not safe, you should leave.
You should leave, yeah.
Yeah.
But
This guy's a weirdo, though.
I mean, I understand if
That's a tricky situation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not tricky.
No, no.
No, it's for
Report
her.
it. Oh,
no, I'm saying for her, because
Yeah.
of course she wants to report him and everything, but it's kind of like you never know. Like some managers have that leeway with like, let me say the executive level of the company to the point where it's kind of like not that they're untouchable, but it's very unlikely that management would do stuff
Do anything.
in certain situations.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you that to let me say to oppose you from reporting them. You should definitely report them. It's just I understand that's a tricky
Yeah.
situation, so we
Exactly.
empathize with you for real.
And she might not be the first.
I'm so sorry you're going
So,
through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely don't gaslight yourself. Like I remember she said the response. saying,
Yeah,
she
Oh,
said, it's like, no. If
yeah.
anyone makes you feel uncomfortable, especially the work
Yeah.
setting, you need to like report and advocate for yourself because it's like, you know.
Yeah. People are so weird. Like
That's the
That's
type of
so
shit you hear about
weird.
like in a movie. On
Right.
something.
yeah,
It's-
maybe, and I think that's where people learn these things. They
But
think it's
it's-
But
okay.
this is a grown ass man.
Yeah, man.
What is he learning in the
No,
movie?
for you to have the audacity to do something like that, you probably did it before. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Let's be
You've had a
real,
history
bro.
of being
Like
a
that's
creepy.
just,
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
people like that watch 50 Shades of Grey.
There's nothing wrong with 50.
There's
Why would you
nothing
say 50
wrong,
and the
shades
thing
of-
is, weird people like that, they
that
probably
is
be
not-
visualizing it happening in their mind before it happened.
Yeah.
Like I'm finna stalk it, then from that, like we finna get nah, bro,
So weird.
nah, bro, nah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Well, I guess the whole advice that I'm seeing, everyone is saying like she should say something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
you should
report them.
you should definitely do something. You can't just like let it go.
Mhm.
You can't let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we sorry you had the experience.
Yeah.
of
That's what I had to say.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. But do you have anything else for us?
I have one more dilemma. Since we have two guests, I said I'll do two dilemmas. And it's funny because Tariro brought up the dilemma kind of before the podcast started. That's why I told him to hold on. But
Yeah.
basically, I'm personally tired of the conversation myself, like Tariro said he was. But it's basically asked, how do you feel about the 50-50 debate in relationships?
Oh, that was talking about. Oh my.
50-50 in terms of spending.
That's
I
crazy.
think
yeah,
so.
Tara said it.
Because Tariro brought, I think it's like, Tariro explained, give us some background info.
So like what I've been seeing on Twitter, and I need to stop going on Twitter that much. Jesus Christ, like especially my Twitter, like they do not stop about these like hypothetical things.
Yeah.
It's like, should you spend like the 50-50? Like I usually see it like with when you're in a relationship, you're living with the person, like in terms of like utilities, like rent, and just like the maintenance of like your life and like where you live, especially like where you, like because you're like finally together, and like there's more financial burden. How should that like financial burden be distributed? Should it be half and half? Should it be like the guy who does majority of the things, or like I've seen girls say like the guy should just pay the rent, and like we'll just pay, I don't know, everything else.
I feel like I know
It's
Chigo's answer.
Jesus.
What?
No, say, sorry.
Now the way you said it made me feel a type of.
He's like, what you mean by that? He's like, I already know what you were about
Nah,
to
for
say.
real. But to touch on that, I kind of feel like if it's a solidified relationship, and let's say both parties know that they're building for the future, I come from the traditional mindset and like thinking that whoever the breadwinner is should handle most of, let me say, the bills. That's the type of family situation that I came from, like having a dad who, took care of most of the bills and having a mom to care for more so the children, like buying the children what they need, everything, groceries, stuff like that. But when it comes to bills, and this is a type of mindset, the same mindset I've adopted too. Like when it comes to me, when I have a wife, who knows? In this generation, you don't need to know. You don't need to know. But for real, this is unrelated, but that prenup must be signed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This that generation.
Yeah.
No. This that generation where it's kind of like marriages. It's hard to kind of it's hard to think about it, but marriages are like business partnerships. That's what they are nowadays. It's kind of like both parties come together and you kind of like pull your money together. Of course, you love each other and everything, but you got to think about the fact that, you know, it's so many different things that you have to, so many different factors that you have to account for when it comes to spending, you know, building your lifestyle together and everything. So, but if we're in it for the long haul, that means we're building for the future, we're building towards marriage, or we're already in a marriage. If I'm the breadwinner, which I expect to be, I'm going to handle most of the bills. That's just how I think about it. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
So with the prenup thing, what would you say to people that are like, if you sign a prenup, it means you're expecting the marriage to fail? Because that's most people's argument.
You need to be a smart individual. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying that all marriages fall apart, but you got to be prepared.
Yeah, and
it's about being prepared for the worst.
And y'all women, y'all need to stop gaslighting. Y'all need to stop gaslighting people for talking about prenups, because asking for a prenup doesn't necessarily mean that you think
it feels that way.
No,
I don't think
that's
so.
Thank you.
I personally
That's
think
because
so.
you're letting your feelings get tied into
Yeah.
that. If you think from a strategic standpoint, if you sign the prenup, that means that you're in it for the love. You're not in it for the money that someone brings to the table.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I understand.
That's what I think.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. Like, someone was sign up, like, sign a prenup. I don't care. But, like, bringing up that conversation is hard.
It's hard.
I think it's like it's like
I don't
you're-
think
it's
so.
like
I think we are
somebody would be
overthinking
like-
it.
somebody would probably feel like, or me too, like, oh, do you think I'm a gold digger or something?
No, but a prenup is just saying that what you came with is what you
yours,
live
it's
with.
yours.
Basically.
If the marriage happens to fall apart,
Exactly.
what you came with is what you leave with.
Yeah, and it makes
But-
it so much easier once you actually have to go through that whole
Mhm.
process. Like, you know.
True, but I do, let me say, empathize with, you know, certain partners who were in a marriage with someone and they helped somebody build the wealth.
Help them,
And then they leave with nothing. I do empathize with that.
Yes,
You feel me?
I agree.
If you did help build the wealth, I feel like, of course, you should have your equity in whatever wealth that you built.
Yeah.
But if you weren't there when we was practicing in the gym, you ain't finna celebrate with us when we turning up for the championship. Let's be real.
What are you talking about?
That's my analogy. though.
That's what
That's how you know it's an Igbo man.
Nah,
If it doesn't rain, it shines.
I'm being real, because if you
Speaking
weren't
in
there
metaphors.
when people was putting in that hard work to build the wealth, I'm sorry, if the marriage happens to fall apart, you don't deserve to leave with it. You don't.
Yeah.
Fair
And that's
enough.
for both sides. That's for women and
Yeah,
men.
women and
it's
men.
not just for one
Yeah.
partner.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But, yeah. But on the 50-50, I think, like, what am I trying to say? I think it should be, if you're in a relationship, you need to pull in weight in some level of regard. It can't be, unless you, like, are making an obscene amount more money than your other partner, if you feel the need that you're going to have that burden be beholdenly on somebody, then, like, I feel it's going to be, like, unbalanced. Like, you try to have, like, some level of balance, like, happening, and you can feel that pressure if you're like a guy who's like trying to, like, you know, do a lot, especially in this economy where everything getting so fucking expensive. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a broke ass nigga when I'm saying this, but I'm just saying that. No. I'm not trying to say that when I'm saying it, but like it can be like a lot, and like it's like I'm hearing these things. It's like, oh, you got to pay all the rent, all of it. You know, one bedroom in, like, let's just say the largest city in North Carolina, largest, like, one bedroom in Charlotte. Like what, 1,400? It can range to as high as that if you're like in a nice area.
And this is an area that's not even that expensive.
Yeah.
Let's talk about if you living in DC, New York, Cali, or a big city.
Yeah. True.
Crazy.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Crazy.
like, I feel like there should be some level of, like, collaboration. Does it have to be strict 50-50? Like, no. If, like, one person's making 100K and so one person's making, like, 50K, like, no, I don't think it has to be 50-50. But it needs to be some level of, like, mutual understanding of we both help each other reach something that makes sense for us so we don't feel stressed.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned, like, talking about like both sides having to pull their weight, when I was talking about, like, coming from the traditional mindset of having the breadwinner pay for most of the bills, I was talking strictly from the point if you already have your wealth established or you have a considerable amount of wealth established. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's not like you're building up. It's not like you're in your 20s paying for most of the bills. You need that. You feel me?
Yeah,
You need
yeah,
the money
yeah.
that you make. Of course,
Yeah.
unless you're kind of like top 1% or you just have a ridiculous job where you're just making hella money, or you just established some side ventures that keep your income coming in like monthly. It's kind of hard to be in a point where you're able to pay most of the bills, especially in your 20s. You feel me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how people get married in their 20s. When I found out how much like a wedding costs, Jesus.
Yeah, but their parents, some people's parents pay for it though.
Yeah, but
That's the thing. If you having a wedding, I don't want my parents to pay for it because
I mean-
everything that they were supposed to do to contribute to my life, they've already done it. I don't want them
Yeah.
having to do more. You feel
Okay,
me?
fair enough.
But especially with African parents, I feel like that's something they want
They
to do.
want
That's like
to,
the last thing they
yeah.
can actually
Not
spend
my
money.
dad. Not my dad. Y'all think I'm cheap? My dad. No. Yeah.
It's like weddings are like
Yeah.
it's like their social gathering.
Yeah.
It's like there's people
Yeah.
that like you've never talked to that they're like, oh yeah, I want to call like my old boy
Yeah.
from like I don't know. I don't know why I said old boy, but I want to call like
Yeah.
their friends and all that type of stuff, and it's like
Mhm.
finally it's a social thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do I feel about 50-50? I mean, I'm not about to stress my life. Like, if I'm with somebody, like, we have to be both doing something. Not just even with the money, even with, like, keeping the house clean, cooking. You're not about to stress me. Like, life is already stressful as
Yeah.
it is. I don't want
Yeah.
to come and stressing me out more.
Mm-hmm.
I beg. I know people say, like, in relationships, you go through hard times, but, man.
not too hard.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't trying to be sweaty.
Like-
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
But I want to segue out of this
I just have one more thing.
segment.
Because I feel like people always, like, especially now, people always like, oh, I want princess treatment only and things like that. But
The way he dragged it.
Nah, I had to let it be known. 'Cause
I feel like people confuse. Like, I think our generation is so obsessed with money, first of all. But I feel like people
Yeah.
confuse, like, princess treatment with, like, oh, buy me designer, pay all my bills, things and that. But, like, princess treatment can also be, like, how does he treat you as a person? Like,
Yeah.
does he listen to you? Does he respect you? Things like that. I feel like that should weigh more
Then the
than
finances.
the designer
Yeah,
bag and
Jimmy
the
Choo,
Birkins
you know,
and the
Christian Dior.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like there's too much
Mama,
obsession with that. I don't know
looking
personally.
good.
That's what I think though. But
yeah.
Fair enough.
Translation, it's not always about the material.
yeah.
It's not always about. Let that go, y'all. Let it go.
Anyways, we're ready for a new segment of the podcast, which is called "If You Don't Get It, Forget About It."
Period.
Forget about it.
I don't think you're going to stop that thing.
No, I need to stop. I need to stop
Hey, did
saying
y'all
that.
see that TikTok? If it's the same food from last night, forget about it. Forget about it. That's the first thing that came to my mind when you said that. Yeah. That's why y'all be dead. Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh, yeah. So for this section, we just want to talk about like post-grad and navigating like our fears and all that kind of stuff. So we have some questions for our guests today, just kind of getting other people's perspective and how they feel about certain things. So the first question we have here is, Chigo and Tariro, are you ready?
Yeah.
Of course.
What's your biggest fear about graduating / leaving college?
Ooh. Definitely, I think the biggest fear that I have is community. So, like, I feel like college feels like a place in the sense that, like, oh, like, you have your routine, you see the same people, and you have, like, you have places to go.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, I'm the youngest, so I see, like, both of my brothers are, like, in, like, their 20s, and, like, my oldest brother's, like, in his, like, early 30s. So, like, I see, like, obviously they have friends, they have, like, a good community around them, but it's, like, harder to, like, consistently be able to have, like, social things, like, all the time. Unless you're, like, going to the bar, and, like, I'm not trying to just be at the bar and meet people type thing. And it's, like, I just want to, like, the biggest fear is, like, building a community again in, like, a new city. Obviously, you're going to connect with the same people, like, you went to college with and still carry those friendships, like, for, like, you know, as long into your adulthood. But it's hard to, like, when you, like, especially, like, you know, you get a new job, you move into a new city, like, finding that community to be around you, find those social settings, meeting people, meeting friends. I mean, everyone talks about, how hard it is to like make friends and like build a community when you're an adult
Yeah.
and type of thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
my biggest fear.
Also, like to build on what Tariro said, I also feel the same way in terms of establishing a community, and plus like the solid relationships you built, you know, from your experience in college. I still have the same friend group from high school. Like just being in different areas and not being able to meet up the same way.
Yeah.
Plus being like in the midst of like, you know, trying to just establish yourself in whatever career you're trying to pursue. It's kind of like you realize that you have like so, like your time is so limited. So finding time to just, you know, hit someone up, call somebody, you know, meet in person is going to be much harder to do. In terms of other things that I fear, not maximizing my potential, like, you know, not taking life as seriously as I should at every stage of life.
Don't worry, I'll call you, Chigo.
What are you doing? Yeah. like growing up, like I would definitely say for me, like my mom, she was always the nurturer, show me love and everything. But my dad, like more so, he was the, you know, form of discipline. Like every time that I kind of lost grip of reality, he was always there to kind of like bring me back to surface, like shape me back, shape me and bring me back and get me to realize, okay, life, you got to take it seriously, you know? So kind of doing that for myself and just realizing that, you know, time is just so limited. So you just got to learn to appreciate things as they come, and seasons of hardship, seasons of joy, seasons of love, season of heartbreak. Like just learning to take life at every step and just appreciate everything that's happening, because you know, I would definitely say, you know, just losing myself or forgetting who I am when I'm in pursuit of who I'm trying to become, losing my essence. That's what I fear. Like, I don't want to look back and, you know, be meeting up with my bros and them looking at me sideways like, is this the same Chigo? Like, you feel me? Like,
turn Hollywood on.
You know, and I know that's not me, and that's never been me. Like, I never let material stuff or any other thing like get in the way. But you never. What you mean? All of these side things you've been doing on the side, like all of the viewers, you don't even know. Florence, you've been shading me this whole time. Yo, like
I'm so
like,
for real. I'm so you.
You got beat. Like, yo. But yeah, just losing my essence, and yeah, I feel like that's what I fear the most from life. Yeah.
Are you guys like afraid basically of like going into like the real world? Because I feel like college is not the real world.
It's a fantasy.
No.
I'm so sorry. Like I feel like
It's such a small bubble.
yeah, it's such a small like things that it's like sometimes when reality started hit, like this senior year, like reality started hitting me a little bit more, because I'm like, damn, like I'm about to start being a little bit more responsible. Like I have to start caring about things a little more. Not that I didn't care before, but like most of what I cared about was grades. Like sorry, but like I used kind of like going into like just I don't know, being an adult, having to deal with rent, bills. I don't know, like
I heard what you're saying. It's kind of like, I don't know, if you're, let's say, let me just put an analogy out there, like you climbing up a pole.
Oh, God.
I kind of feel like
like
you just climbing up.
Yeah.
We're not talking about stripper poles. A lot of y'all viewers out there, I already know that's the first thought I came to. Y'all got a dirty mind. You got to fix what you be watching. We know what you be watching. Like, nah, for real, seek God. For real. Yeah. But like, let's just say you climbing up a pole, right? I kind of feel like growing up under your parents and like being in schooling, you kind of had a safety net. So whenever you fell off, you would be caught wherever you were. Yeah. So you had something to hold you up. But when you get into that real world, that safety net is gone. It's kind of like if you fall down to the ground, you have to start from square one, square zero. Like it's like you have to start from the whole beginning. So it's kind of like when you mention that, it's like, damn, all the times that I BS and I knew I had more time to catch up, I can't really do that in the real world. Like if I slip up, someone else is there to take my spot. So it's kind of like you have to keep, you know, you have to remain kind of composed at every point and just make sure that you're not BSing. Make sure you're not BSing. Yeah, you got to work hard and just remember what you're pursuing or what you're building towards. You have to keep that in the back of your mind at all times.
Yeah, at first, like, definitely financially, I mean, it can be a lot going into, like, that new role of, like, because college really, in a sense, kind of is a safety net socially.
Yeah.
You don't really have a lot of those responsibilities. I mean, obviously, like, there's a lot of college students that are working and doing all that type of stuff. But there's no barrier anymore type thing. But, like, I was actually talking to one of my friends about this. He's like, when we were going into college, we had that same feeling. Yeah. And, like, now we're here and we're at the end of the
That's
true.
Is that
like, when you really think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Like so,
you
like
know what to expect.
you know what to expect.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the stakes are higher now, but like
yeah,
we've already built that kind of mentality for 4 years of like going to this goal of graduating, going to the, like our lives, establishing our careers,
right?
Whatever post-grad that we like want to pursue.
Yeah.
So like I feel like at the same time I feel like we're more ready than we think we are.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Every stage of life has like its growing pains and like
and
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
For all like
or they bad. I don't know.
I mean, but you just have to know that it's going to come. Like shit is going to go wrong.
Yeah.
Regardless, like
stuff never goes as planned. It never goes as planned. You have to be ready. You feel me? Like
life is never linear.
School taught you that already.
I was telling my therapist, like, I don't know, like I'm scared, like of like that. I don't know if I have all those resources to be able to catch myself. But she's like. Like Tariro was saying, like maybe you have more than you think you do.
Yeah. It's kind of like you a psych major, so it's kind of like you have to psych your mind into being. No. I'm just being. I'm a psych major too, but I kind of feel like when it comes to the real world, what works for me or why I'm not too scared about it is kind of like I psych my mind into it. It might be delusional or me just being ignorant, but I psych my mind into like. Telling myself I'm gonna be okay regardless. Like you just have to expect it. Like to build up to this point, for you to even be able to graduate from university, you have to be able to look back and like take account of all of the experiences you've endured and all of the challenges and obstacles that you've conquered. Like you feel me? For you to make it up to this point, you've already endured so many different trials and tribulations. So if you can endure this. You can endure pretty much everything. Yeah, we went to school. We were in school during the pandemic. Like,
I was really about to say that.
That really took away from a lot of stuff. Like a whole year I was at home, or 2 years, almost 2 years.
Like people struggled with college before just having regular college before a pandemic. And we went through that. We've had to be doing something right. Like, literally, we had to do something right for us to get here.
As long as you alive right now, you must be doing something right. Because it's a common sense ain't common. It's a lot of people get into situations where, I'm saying, it's just unfortunate, but they're not here with us anymore. So if you're still alive and breathing, you're about to graduate from school. Like, you must be doing something right. You have to give yourself some credit. Even though you've had a lot of, let me say, you've had a community to help you. You've had so many different resources extended to you. You have to give yourself some credit, And, of course, the one above all, God. You feel me? I give God all the credit.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Anyways, another question to segue off of that. Do you guys think that the college experience is like overrated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I genuinely think so because I feel like, especially like so I'm born and raised in Nigeria. Everything when you watch like. America, especially American college. When you watch American college movies, you're like, oh my gosh, party. Oh my gosh, like everyone is so this, everyone is so like. Even with senior year, it's like I thought in my mind, senior year will be a breeze. I won't have anything to do. I'll just be chilling. I'll take 2 classes, blah blah. I'll just get on my bike. Just like it just looks so like. So easy and so chill. You just bump into someone in the cafeteria. Oh my god, we're wearing the same shirt. Oh my god, let's be friends. Besties forever. It's so over. Like I feel like it's especially American like college. I think it's severely overrated. Like even in the kind of people you meet, because I feel like in all those movies you only see a certain type of people.
Fair enough.
But like even looking at our school, like there's so many different kinds of people here, and like it's a good thing. But when you have that, and because it gives you that like preconceived notion, you have this expectation.
Yeah.
But the expectation is so unrealistic because you don't know what you're going to meet when you get into that school, when you get into that situation. So I definitely think it's overrated. I feel like we should be encouraged more to make college what you think, like what you want it
What
to
you make
be.
it.
Yeah. Instead of like all this, just even though social media makes it, everything makes it very like overwhelming and unrealistic. I think.
I feel like college for me was high school part 2. I'm not gonna lie to
yes,
you.
I
I
agree.
definitely the same way, the same social atmosphere. Classes on a different level though. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Yeah.
especially at
This
this
school
school.
will
I
humble you
breezed
so
through. I
good.
breezed through high school. I didn't study. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Try that
Yeah.
here. You fail
All your classes. This
You fail in
Wow.
all your classes. Yeah. I learned that early on, freshman year. Like you try that here, you fail in all your classes.
No,
so I will
for real.
say, underrated aspect of college, it does prepare you for life. It shows you that, like, if you want to improve in something, you have to be intentional about it. You can't just
Yes.
think it's gonna come to me and I'm a adapt when it comes. Now you have to actually sit and think, how can I improve myself? How can I get myself to perform better? You know, if I was extracurricular activities, how am I gonna incorporate that with my, you know, classes, going to classes and everything else I got to worry about. So that, but is college overrated? I will just say the experience is not the best for everybody. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to say overrated because other people might say otherwise, but I would say the experience is different for everybody.
Yeah.
Did I have the most fun in my life? That's what some people say. College was the most fun
That's very
time of their life.
scary.
And if that's
Yeah.
the most fun,
I'm
if
very
that was the
scared.
funnest time of your life, I'm sorry for
No,
you.
for
'cause
real.
your life was
Yeah, nah.
Like,
like.
This is it.
Jesus.
This right here is it.
How much
Hell
did
no.
you struggle for college to be the most, the funnest time of your life? Like, I don't want to look back and say this, like, college experience was the funnest time. No.
God forbid.
We got greater heights to reach,
Yeah.
greater peaks to see. College was just a stepping stone. But I would say I've had great experiences.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Life-changing experiences
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have had had not come
fair
in, you
enough,
know.
yeah.
So.
I just think it's the packaging, this whole
Yeah.
like college experience.
Yeah.
It's just like, calm down. Like, relax.
Nah, real. They kind of scammed us. If you really think
Nah,
about
for
it.
real,
Yeah.
for real.
It's the whole
Really
reason.
Speaking
Yeah.
of college, I feel like it kind of I just feel like it kind of is a scam in a way. Like tuition, the cost of attendance,
Oh, God.
the way they just be finessing people. Like, damn. You go to a damn basketball game, football game, they selling drinks for $10.
Exactly.
Crazy.
You not, and you
crazy.
don't even pay the freaking student athlete. Like
y'all charging
no,
people
yeah.
for parking?
Yes, I thought parking was free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
it's
someone
just
told me
like-
it's like $400.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
yeah.
college-
After I pay school fees, you can't let me park my car in peace.
College is such a money grab, yo, and
No,
it's
Oh my
honestly.
goodness.
like, damn.
And if you're going to graduate school, that's even worse. I mean, depending on the program you're going to, because like if you're doing a PhD program, they'll probably pay you to go. But if you're doing like maybe I don't know about law school, but I know about med school and all that stuff. Like the amount of money just to apply
yeah,
is
and then-
ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They make these things so inaccessible to people, but it is what it is.
At least with me, I think go off what Chigo said. Like college is really what you make it, and you can really. I don't believe in it, the college experience, but I do think it's very useful. Not even from just like a career standpoint, from like a mental standpoint, like learning how to like think. I feel like I feel like
Yeah.
college really makes you like it makes the gears in your brain start turning. Like,
Yeah.
'cause you're actually kind of challenged mentally of like, you know, how do I navigate things that I've never really considered before? Like, there's a lot of I read a statistic like only like 9.6% of like all people on earth have actually gotten a college degree. And like when you really
You
think
said
about-
9.6?
like 9.6%
9.6%
of like everyone, like the 7 point, like the
So,
7 point
out of
eight-
everybody
Seven point
living,
something
only
billion
9.6%.
people, only
So like
9.6%
really,
really,
in
it
the
doesn't
world.
feel like that because we're in like the United States.
Yeah.
But like there's billions of people that just don't even reach that. And I'm like thinking about like how much my mind has like literally opened from like hearing different perspectives of people, seeing different people from around
Yeah.
the world, all that type of thing. I think it's like, I think that college experience is worth it. Like that section of it, like
Yeah.
learning, like that, not even like the classes part, but like learning how to think, learning how to like from other people's perspectives is like really, really important. And honestly, why we have a lot of like ignorant people in the world. Like if we just made college more accessible, like think about how much more we would be able to accomplish as like a society.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Definitely like to piggyback on what Tariro said. Like I can't even count how many times like college has shown me that, you know, in certain situations we've kind of conditioned ourselves to be like in the thinking process to be as automated as possible. Like think about the things that you do on a daily basis that you don't even think about when you're doing it.
True.
Like a lot of the times I catch myself and I'm like, Chigo, what are you doing right now? Like, you feel me? Like, I feel like college more than anything has made me think like, you know, with everything that you're doing, it has to be a reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
You know, when you actually look and assess, like you said, all of the people on the planet, there's a lot of people who just do shit for no reason.
Yeah.
They just do stuff. Like you ask them what they doing today and they just doing it for no reason. Like I don't want to be like that. And in order to be successful, you have to kind of reverse engineer where you want to. You have to understand where you want to be and kind of reverse engineer like a plan to get there.
Yeah.
So that's what college taught me. Like you have
Yeah.
to be super strategic and intentional with
Yeah.
the stuff you do. And these assignments, the way they made my mind work,
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy.
Oh god,
for sure.
you got me turning things in 2 minutes before.
Dude, like,
Bruh.
how do we even do that? Like,
Yo.
Chigo knows I'm throwing shit at him.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Sometimes life get hard. It's not about how pretty it looks. Did you get the job done?
Exactly.
It's not about how pretty it looks. Did you get the job done? You
True.
feel me?
Yeah.
People could take 1,000 years trying to make something look pretty and as beautiful as possible and never get something finished. There could be one person, okay, the aesthetic is important, but they focus more so on the substance and they get the job done. That's what college taught me. Like, just get the job done.
Yeah.
Don't do more than you're asked. Like, read the rubric, read the directions. Don't do more than what they ask. Just do what they ask you. Simple.
Some professors actually take off points if
Yeah.
you do more.
Are you serious?
Yes.
More.
Yes.
Of course, at this school. Of
Yes.
course,
You
at
have
this
to-
school. They
Like
want
if
to-
they tell you to write a 1,000-page paper, better write the 1,000-page. What am I talking about? 1,000
1,000
words
words, yeah.
paper. You have to write like if you go above that, even one word above that.
What school you going to? Yeah.
Leave me alone. If you go
Yeah.
even one word above that, then it will take off points.
Yeah.
Interesting. But I think for me, like, is college overrated? I think college definitely, just like you guys said, just to summarize what you guys are saying, like, it helped me to really learn about myself, to really go through things.
Self-discovery,
And but in terms of like, oh, was it all gorgeous?
Oh,
No. Like, I mean, I don't even know what I expected out of college, to be quite frank. Like, when I came in, I did a complete 360 from like what I had in mind. So that's why I'm scared of the real world, because I actually don't know what's going to happen. So I think college helped me to grow in terms of like opening my mind up and like telling me what's out there. I don't know if I met a lot of people. That's one thing I regret.
I think this is the place I've been that I've met the least people. But I think that was me myself. Just I got lazy when I got to school. I'll be honest. Like I was just socially tired, so I just kept to myself a lot. I think, and I was just exhausted. Like, college is very exhausting, so my social battery died.
First semester.
Oh,
After
yeah.
first semester, like
because it was
first semester, I
hard.
tried,
Like freshman year, I really
Yeah.
tried.
I tried.
Like, especially that
first semester,
one.
yeah,
But meeting people, because this school is so big,
yeah.
so meeting people was so hard, and I was just like, oh my, I don't tire, beg. What I found is enough, and I'm just gonna keep stepping. Like, I got exhausted, and I didn't try. I
Yeah.
think I don't know.
One thing I wish I did more though was network a little, just a tiny little bit more. Because for me, like when I came in, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I went to everything. I went to every information session. I went to every club. I was there, even if I was not talking, like I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got to a point when I started to figure out things, and I met people there that like have brought me to where I am now as a student. So like I met professors by just going out, seeing what's out there and all that stuff. So I wish I'd continue to do that at some extent, to just continue networking and building that network, because after that, especially with COVID, I just kind of like retreated and then just continued to retreat.
Yeah.
And it's been hard to try to step out again, because I'm trying to like, even if it's to do like one small group event every week, or like to join one church group thing, to just continue to meet more people, even if I don't like become like best friends with them, just continue to put my face out there a little bit more, was something I wish I did to some extent. But you live and you learn. But why did I go about this time?
No, it's fine. What do you guys wish you did different?
I wish I was more open-minded to some experiences, I would say. There are a lot of things where I kind of told myself that I wouldn't have fun at, and I kind of didn't get to experience certain things that other people experience. So I wish I came in with more of an open mind and kind of just, just explore more.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. In terms of like different communities of people, different types of people, different things. I wish I came in freshman year with the mindset of like finding what I want to do. More so freshman year, I already had it dead set in my head what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be pre-med. Lord knows. Lord knows, because that first semester after that, I was like, hell no, bro. That's not happening. But yeah, I wish I just came in with an open mind to kind of just taking everything and soak up as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like for those who aren't in college yet, I would definitely recommend to come in. Even if you have in your mind what you want to do, still be open to other options.
To meet people. You
know?
don't know like what would change like your entire, like for me that's what it did. Like I came in a little bit open-minded, a little bit not knowing what I'm doing, a little bit knowing what I wanted to do. So I was just going to like information sessions and all that kind of stuff, and I kind of like, oh, this is what I wanted to do. That kind of like redirected my whole path. But I wish I continued to like do some of that throughout college instead of setting on one thing and going on it. But
Damn, I gotta think. I would definitely say I really wish I took more risks. Like I feel like there's like
that's
a lot of times where like you psych yourself out. You're like, I can't get this, or I shouldn't do this because you don't think you're good enough. Whereas like there's so many people that like, I'm not saying there's a lot of people who are unqualified. Well, fuck, I'm gonna say it. There are people that are really unqualified in the positions that they have, and
not just unqualified, incompetent.
Ignorant. should not even be anywhere close to where they are in like the building. And when you realize that, I'm older now, and I realized that, I was like, damn, there's a lot of things that like I wish I'd like decide just go ahead and do, and like how much I could have not even just resume building, but like mentally like benefited from. I feel like the school can be. I'm just speaking for UNC like specifically. It can feel like everybody is competing, and then like it also feels like when people talk about opportunities or things, it feels like, what am I trying to say? That they're above you and like you can't even achieve, like you can't even be in the same space. Imposter syndrome in some cases. Like you shouldn't even be in the same space. Like getting this.
Is that something that you feel like is self-imposed, or do you feel like other people make you feel that way? Like,
I think it's a little mix of both. Because I mean, obviously, like we're minorities in a like a white space. That's number one. And number two is just like you're a younger person. You don't feel, you might not be used to like academia. Like I was not used to like being around like people of this higher class of like thinking and learning and type shit. So like,
I think they're regular.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think people are. She said people of higher think.
Like students.
Not students.
Here,
I'm talking about like
professors.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I was going to say people
like,
here are regular.
No, not yet. I'm talking about.
I mean, I wouldn't say regular.
I
It's
mean,
just,
not to like, but like.
I feel like we're all on the same level. I feel like
that's what I mean by regular. Like nobody's like.
It's not like they're above you.
Yeah, that's what I was
not
saying.
like above you. It's like the professors, like what they're able to do. You're like, I shouldn't even be trying to get this, but it's like definitely shoot your shot. Like with
Yeah.
everything in life, like shoot your shot, do whatever the hell you want. You never know what you're gonna do. You never know what you're gonna end up doing.
If you miss it, pick the ball back up and continue to bounce.
For real.
Mhm.
Like, never let your last shot affect the next one you take.
Mm.
Like, you feel me?
Chigo,
Keep-
did you? Hey,
Chigo has
Jesus.
PhD in
Nah.
Igbo. What's
Nah, I
that
got,
Hey,
I got analogies for days.
he just keeps
For real.
going.
For real. See, I'm already ready to be a dad. No, yeah, but God forbid that will not happen in my 20s.
He's talking about
It's
his
not happening.
ancestors,
It's
talking
not
like his
happening, bro.
ancestors.
Yeah, for
Bruh.
real. But that's real though. Like, keep shooting your shots.
Yeah,
Like, for real,
yeah,
for real. Like,
yeah.
never be afraid to take risks. That's a big one. That's a
Mhm.
big. And I'm still learning that about life. Like, just you never know until you
Never
try.
know. Never
know
Never
until you
know.
Mm.
Never
And
know.
if it slaps you in your face, you
turn the other
continue.
cheek.
At least if it slaps you in your face, at least you had the balls to do it.
Mm.
Exactly.
Most 99% of people on the planet don't have the balls to do it.
boss even they don't even have the belief in themselves.
You feel me?
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
why a lot of the incompetent, unqualified people make it to those levels or those
That's
statuses
so
because they had the
Yes.
balls to
Yeah.
do it.
They're the only people willing to
They
try.
had the balls
Yeah.
to do it.
True.
Yeah.
That's
So-
so true.
You can't be afraid to lay claim to it. Like, you have to
Mm.
claim it. If you want it, you have to claim it.
Yeah.
And you can't be afraid. A lot of people are afraid to speak something into existence. Like, say, I'm going to do something because you fear that other people tell you that you're not going to do it and do this and do that. If you believe in yourself and you know what you're capable of, speak into existence.
Yeah.
And that will even push you to go and get it because you know that, okay, they're saying this, they're saying that. Okay, bet that. I
But
got
speak
some for
into
y'all.
existence and walk towards it.
That's
Don't just speak
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
looking.
And it's
Thank
be sitting on the
you,
couch
thank
playing
you.
video games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna be a millionaire. Yeah, man, you best believe.
Not for real though, bro. Yeah.
It's like, nah, you gotta actually.
I'm getting to it. You know, around the control. Yeah. Hey, nah, for real though.
No.
The work, that's number one, because a lot of people see these exotic lifestyles that these people on IG, quote unquote, live.
Mhm.
You didn't see the work that they put in
Exactly.
together. You didn't see the work that they put in together. So don't let that fool you. Don't let social media fool you. Behind anything you want to do, you got to put in that work. I'm speaking to
Yeah.
myself too. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I have a
Speaking,
question. How was I was just to Simi? How was I know you did like uni in like the UK? How was that different?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I think one thing that was different, and this is with regards to like community and meeting people, like with America, like, you know that this is the campus of the school. Everything is in one place. But there's like, the buildings are scattered around the city. So it's not like, but like, you know that, okay, this area is where like the school buildings are, but like in the middle of that, there can be like a supermarket.
That's how NYU
Like,
is.
It's just
Yeah.
very like spread out. So, because when I also went when it was cold. So everyone was inside. So it's really hard to meet people or like, yeah. It was really hard meeting people, but I think uni there is harder than here. I think I
you
would say
said
that
uni is what?
harder there than because I feel
Okay.
like there it's more challenging. Here there's like I feel like here you're spoon fed a little bit. Like your professors are very helping and like I say which is helpful and like but there it's just like you're on your own, you don't have to go to class, no one's checking you, like you're actually just you behave how you want to behave and then the grade you get is what you get. Like the classes are huge, it's not like they're like maybe 300 people in one
Is it
class,
not the
one
same
professor.
here?
I don't necessarily. I feel like there's more independence there. I think because even culturally, I think that America is very, very, very independent. But like from what I see, the UK people is like by the time most of them are like 16, 18, like look at all like their rappers or like the people in their music industry. They are all super young compared to here. Like they start grinding from early. Like I mean. Here too, like you guys work McDonald's and all of that, which is good. But like,
McDonald's.
I feel like I don't know. Like, there's just this grind there, and like I don't know. But schooling there, I feel like it's very different for sure.
Is it just like professors are just less communicative? They just put out one syllabus like that, and then they just because it's like here. depending on what class you take, I think it's almost the same thing. You're kind of on your own. You don't have to go to class, but you fail.
But there's attendance. Like attendance accounts for your grade, for example.
Oh,
There it doesn't like.
Okay. And,
yeah, just on
and
your
having
own.
mandatory attendance, that kind of incentivizes you to go to class.
Exactly.
So you basically saying here they hold your hand a little bit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there it's just like, and then like there's only 2 assessments, like only 2 things to make up your grade.
2 assessments?
Yeah, for all my
no
classes, that's
assignments,
like,
no nothing?
no,
So
Hey.
no homework.
no. So that's
So
what
it's
I'm like,
easy
you're
to fail
actually,
over
yeah,
there.
it's
Yeah.
very easy to fail.
Yeah.
Because you're actually just on your own. If you like, you do as you want, but like, so it was harder, and I had to psych myself to go to class or else, because nobody was going to check. Like, who's going to check me? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody knows I'm missing. I don't know. It's harder though. And it made me
Yeah.
appreciate America more. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You mentioned McDonald's earlier. I'm going to shout out to my dude, Bello. McDonald's in Miami.
What's going on?
Jesus
What's
Christ,
going on?
Hey, shout out my dude, Bello, man.
What's going on?
Hey, we might have to cut that out, no cap. Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. We keep it that. Yeah.
Oh,
God.
God.
Hey,
That's
man.
funny. I don't know. Do you think we have more time? Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, you can answer. Oh, the last question. Is that your last one? What was
I mean,
that?
the last question is just like. Anyways, if you're listening to this podcast, like we've said, if you guys haven't listened to the first episode, we are not like anything we say here is not like supposed to be gold standard. So the next question is supposed to be for the guys' perspective on like what are the expectations for men. And do you think that society has a lot of expectations?
Yeah. So
Yes.
starting now
From
that you're
men.
leaving school,
Yeah.
you're becoming like men.
Yes.
You know.
So
Yes.
these are only 2 guys though
Yes.
in the whole world.
Dudes, yeah,
Yes.
only 2
I'm just
dudes
kidding, I'm just
represent
kidding.
all of y'all. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to try to act like I'm representing all men. I'm just speaking from me and my guys and what we think.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like society expects men to be superheroes. And if you're not a superhero, you get criticized for everything. I kind of feel like that's the standard that y'all put on men. It's also expected of women too. But I feel like with men, it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like women and society in general, they just have a lot of standards that they want men to meet. Do people settle for things that are below their standard? Yes, but I kind of feel like that doesn't dismiss the fact that people still have a lot of unrealistic standards for men.
Fair enough.
This thing where, like, of course everybody wants to be top 1%, but this thing where people expect every man to be top 1% man, or if you're not a top 1% man, like, nobody wants you or something like that. I kind of feel like you just have to be realistic with the pool of men that we have in this world. Not every man could be a top 1% man, top 10% man. Also, I kind of feel like as a guy, we're expected to suppress everything, but at the same time, people tell us that it's okay to speak up, it's okay to do this, it's okay to do that. But when we do, it's either we get clowned, we get ignored, or it's rare that you find someone who actually listens to what you're saying and actually values what you're saying. Like, just look at all of the black men, especially black men out there. And I hate to talk about celebrities and everything, but anytime a black man has an issue, it's always like, it's always clown.
yeah.
Like they make it a satire or something like that. You see someone like Kanye losing his mind, they laugh about it. That thing about Tyrese where he wanted like his, I think, was it his son or his daughter? Like he was crying. He was crying about his daughter. People made that a joke. Like, why is it every single time that like a black man goes through something, it's made to be a satire? And this also happens to black women as well, but I feel like it happens to men more often. You feel me? Because we see the same thing with Megan Thee Stallion. How a lot of people.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah. It was wild how
Victorian, yeah.
people did her, and I was one of those people who were skeptical about the claims that she made. So I would take the onus on that. You feel me? But I kind of feel like it happens more so with black men. Maybe that might just be my perspective due to the fact that I'm not really into keeping up with the blogs and all that messy stuff
Right.
that happens. Maybe I'm just speaking from my perspective, and I'm just looking from outside my window.
Right.
So I don't really know what's going on, but that's from what I see. You feel me? So
With me, only expectation. What you said about like black men like expressing emotions. I think it's like harder for us, especially for any. I say race of men. I feel like I see it the most with like black men. Like you can't really express yourself, or else you're like seen as like either like everything, all the points you said, or like weaker than, or like not strong enough. And I think the biggest thing that I see in terms of expectations are like, as you said, like finances, of just kind of like being a, let's say being a workhorse, but like just being a dude that just comes, you go to work, you come back, and you say, how's your day? It's good. Go back to work.
a machine, basically.
And
like
it's
a
just
machine.
like I mean, that's not with a lot of like, relationships with women. Like obviously there's like people that definitely do care about you.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like if you are not really given the room to vent or complain about certain things in your life, or else you're just being like, oh, you're just being either ungrateful, or you're just being weak, or you're just being lazy.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so much that goes into motivation and goes into like, getting things done, and like men are kind of seen as the people that have to get things done in terms of I don't know, providing, because we're like, gender roles say men are the providers in terms of things. And when you don't feel, and when you don't like perform to that expectations, that also like an internalized thing of like, oh, I feel like I'm less of a man now, or and you may feel like it might feel into your insecurities of like, your partner, like your girlfriend, feeling like, oh, I can't give what you need or what I feel like I should be providing to you. So it can be like a lot of pressure on that. I mean, there's certain things that like I would say that we're very like, even though there's a lot of pressures, and a lot of that also has to do with like, our race specifically. I do think there's a lot of like privileges also we do have in terms of certain things.
Yeah.
Just because like, we do live in like patriarchal society, so like there's different certain things in like which like, we are given more spaces to operate in society, just because a lot of these things like historically were only for men. So I do necessarily think that there's like, there's a lot of things that are weighing us down, but there's also like some positives and like stuff that like we have privilege over women, and I think try to alleviate and fix those type of things. So yeah.
Definitely.
So do you guys have a way you navigate that, or do you just live with it?
I mean, I kind of feel like all of those pressures haven't really hit me yet, because I haven't touched the real world. Once I do, and then I'll probably start experiencing it. But in terms of how I'll handle it, I don't know. I grew up in an African household. From what I seen from my dad, you just suppress it. I mean, it's bad and all. And of course, like, people recommend therapy and going to therapy. Of course, I definitely tend to do that in the future. But I'm sorry. Don't try to be like me. Don't try to be like. But from what I've seen, you just, I don't know, being a man, it just kind of feels like you just got to suppress some stuff. You just have to. It just feels like sometimes you just have to. Like, I don't know why. It's not a good thing, but that just, from what I've seen, like, there are things that you just have to suppress. You just have to keep down. And you just have to find outlets that allow you to release that stress and tension that you experience.
Please don't do this. So.
I'm not.
That's what you did.
I'm not. Yeah, I gave a
I
disclaimer. I'm just speaking for all my guys out there, like, who actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
there are some things that you just have to suppress.
You just gotta roll with.
Can you guys talk to your friends, for example? No, like, because like, since you guys are all going through it, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys like talk as men to your
guys,
guys, to your boys?
guys.
It depends on the friend.
It depends on the friend. It depends on what exactly
it is
we're
you're talking about.
Because I understand, like, with women and their friendships, I kind of feel like y'all are way more open and y'all are free to talk about everything. When it comes to guys, it's like you respect the boundaries that you have, even in friendships. You know there's certain things that you don't talk about. And you shouldn't ask unless a guy brings it up.
But why are there boundaries?
It's different for guys. It's just, it's like that. Why do you think it's like that, Tariro?
I think it's just because the standard of like there's certain standards when it comes to what how men should operate.
Yeah.
And it's definitely women, just because it's just gender roles how they are. There's more leeway of like how you can appear as and what you can like be seen as, like you know what I'm saying. So like if you're gonna be like ranting and complaining about like work or like certain things, it's like, bro, like you gotta work, bro. Like as a dude, you're supposed to work. That's what you're
like
supposed
stop
to
being
do.
the bee or
yeah,
something like
literally,
that,
it's like
me?
that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
feel
like
me?
Yeah,
That's
but like
tough.
because I'm like, you guys are friends, so you should be able to like go to your friends and like just talk. Like, this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how, because I'm not a guy, so I wouldn't get it. I get like, I mean, personally, I'm a very private person. Like, before I say something is wrong with me, I'm down bad. Like, ask Florence. I'm very private. But even at that, like with my family and some of my friends, I'm able to be like, okay, this is actually what I'm going through. So I don't know how you guys do, but I feel like you should have at least one safe space, even if it's just one person, or like your mom. I don't know.
I will say like my group. I can't speak for all guys, but my group, I kind of feel like we've done a good job in trying to open up more and more.
Yeah.
It's still certain boundaries that we don't cross and we respect it.
Okay.
But we've tried to open up the conversation for things that we're going through. But I feel like for a lot of things, it's just. I don't know. It's just as a guy, maybe it's just, the toxic African man in me. But it's kind of like you just have to keep it to there's a lot of things in life where you just got to keep it to yourself. That's what that's from what I've seen from my dad. You just have to keep it to yourself. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's not like, I mean, in a way, it's kind of like you don't want to burden people, but at the same time, it's kind of like, this is something that I'm dealing with. I just have to go through it myself.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, you feel me? And plus, like, for spiritual people, I kind of feel like talking to God does help.
True.
It does help with...
But God said talk to people, too.
For sure.
Yeah.
It depends on what we're talking about,
Yeah.
though. Depends on what you're talking about.
The thing is also, like, it's not just everything. Like, I want to just preface
Yeah,
this.
it's not everything.
There's just, like, not everything. It's, like, I feel like I can only speak for myself, and, like, most guys that I know, like, they have friends that, like, you can, like, talk to, like, and like be able to express, I'm having this or that. Like, I've had friends and I've also expressed that to them, but it's just like there's certain things where it's just like, you can't.
Okay, an example of this boundary or certain thing that you guys can't talk about.
I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's a case by case. Like, if you know. I don't know. It's
like
really
money.
depends.
You guys can't talk about money, for example. Is that a thing that is like?
It depends on what we're talking about
like,
as money. Like,
if you're talking about a situation where you're down bad financially,
you guys don't talk about that. So your friend will be hungry. Everybody laughing.
No, we won't. I don't roast like someone who's like needs like.
No. The thing is, like, for me, it's kind of like, I would say, I do ask people for stuff, but for me to ask someone for something, I have to know that I can't get it done by myself. It's something about being a man where you want to be super independent. You want to make sure I'm doing it myself, and if it reaches to the point where I can't do it myself, then I'll ask. So it's like, if I'm in a situation where I'm down bad financially, first off, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Second, it's kind of like, damn, I don't want to burn. I know
If I'm
you
broke,
got stuff.
I would tell Simi I'm broke.
I know I got. The thing is, if y'all eating out, I just won't come with y'all. You feel me? Because it's just like, as you just have to understand. I mean, y'all probably are understanding what we're saying, but you can't understand what it's like to what it's like to have a mind.
That's why I asked, like, what are these bounds? That's why I said, for example, is money one of them, or is it like an emotional thing?
Money is a big one.
Yeah, money is a big one. Money is a big one.
I rarely see someone, like, I can see a situation where, like, they say, oh yeah, my family's like going through something like financially, but I rarely see someone be like, me personally, I don't have money.
Yeah.
And like in situations like that, like you can kind of see it, and you're just like, usually what happens, I've known, is that your homie be like, yo, I'll Venmo you back. It's like, yeah, I know that's never gonna happen, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna press you and be like, send, like, can I get my money back? I was like, I'll just pay for it and it's fine. Like, I think that's like the thing that I see the most is like, oh, can I Cash App you back? Can I Venmo you back? Can I Apple Pay you back? And it's like, yeah, and you can just tell, it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get the money back, but I'm doing this because, like, you're my friend. And I care about you, and I'm not gonna, like, let you out to dry, like, and I'm not gonna be pressed that you can't pay me back.
And that's real talk. Like, I'm also the same way, but it's like, for me, I don't know. if I ask somebody to pay for something, I want to pay them back. It just
Yeah,
it's
same,
something about
same.
me. It's kind of like I just want to. I have
Yeah,
to.
you like
You feel me? It's kind of like I just can't let you pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I have went out with like let me say a woman one time and she wanted to pay for my meal and she did, but I paid. I made sure like when it was her birthday, I paid that amount back. I was like, nah.
As in, like, you got her a gift that was exactly that.
No, I
price.
sent the money. That was the same amount that she paid. Cause it's just like I just can't let you pay for my nah.
Oh.
It's a toxic it's a toxic
Still
masculinity
the
type of
exact price.
thing. But that's just
I'm
how it is. You feel me?
screaming,
Maybe
bro.
it's the pride. That's what it is.
It's
We
pride.
we
It's
got a
pride.
lot of
Yeah,
pride.
yeah,
We
it's
got
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
pride.
pride. We got a lot
Yeah.
of pride.
Okay.
That's very
I
we
feel like
continue-
women have pride too. Y'all just show it in different ways.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
I just think money is very touchy for men.
Yeah.
From what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
Okay.
Because
If we go-
you want to be a provider. You want
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And when you're not in the position to be that, it's tough.
Okay.
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 All right, Simi.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming
Of
on.
course.
Of course.
Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and make sure. Oh, do you guys have any like last minute words, Florence?
No.
Okay, Chigo.
It was nice vibing with y'all. Hopefully everybody tee up this 3-day weekend, you know, whatever that means for you. It could be partying, it could be dedicating time to whatever you want to do. But,
Sleeping.
you know, make sure y'all stay safe and be easy, you know.
Y'all stay safe, be easy, but don't be boring. Like, this is our last semester.
You know what I'm
Let's tee
saying?
up. Let's you know, cause these last few days has been just like, bro, it's a drag. Like,
You know what I'm
we need to tee
saying?
up.
Like-
This is Jordan year, like 2023. So
but the
We
thing
gotta do
is, if you want it to be like that, you have to set it
you have
off.
to set it up.
You
Yeah,
gotta set it
You
off.
But
You gotta
Okay.
set- And the thing is, you don't need many people to have fun. You can have fun by yourself.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like people gotta learn how to have fun, like with their small
their
clique
small
or by themselves. You feel me? You can have fun in whatever you do. You just have to make it fun for yourself. You know. So yeah, but I appreciate y'all for inviting us on this
appreciate
podcast.
y'all.
Lovely time. You know, we had some good laughs. Talked about some
Thank
deep
you.
stuff.
Thank you. Thank
know.
you.
And make sure y'all check into Do You Get Podcast. Do you get?
Follow
Do you
follow
get?
the Instagram.
Yeah. Make sure you follow.
You get me? Do you get me?
Follow us on Instagram. Do you get pod? Make sure
Yeah.
you rate and review the episode. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Signing off.
Bye, bye.
Yo.